Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, teachers and students. My name is Patrick Robertson and I would like to officially welcome you to the 2020 Primary Speech Day. As was the case for many events this year, our award celebration looks a little different due to COVID-19 restrictions, but we are so grateful that as of Tuesday at 4 p.m. last week, we were able to invite parents to join us this morning. This event is a wonderful celebration of the 2020 school year, giving us the opportunity to reflect on a very unique year of education. It is also the last primary school speech day for the Year 6 students before we embark on an exciting journey into secondary school. Could you please stand and join with me in the welcoming of our official party for this morning? Mr. Brad Beasley, Chairman of the Rockhampton Grammar School Board of Trustees, Dr. Philip Moulds, our school headmaster, Mr. Jeff Hadwin, our head of primary, Mrs. Janet Spark, our assistant head of primary, and my fellow student leaders, Madeline Green, Libby McDonald, Darcy Malone, Tossa Billitu Adegbaja, George Pentecost, Electra Cox, and Lane Hodgetts. Parents, distinguished guests, teachers and students, welcome to this very special celebration on the Rockhampton Grammar School calendar. You may now be seated. Thank you to the Primary Concert Band. During the ceremony, we will not only celebrate the academic, cultural, sporting and citizenship achievements of our outstanding students, we will also get to enjoy a number of musical items involving students from years 1 to 6. Further, the ceremony gives us a chance to celebrate the uniqueness of our primary school. The intimate family feel of the Rockhampton Grammar School embraces each and every one of us, allowing us to grow in character and scholarship in a wonderful learning environment. I now take great pleasure in announcing the next segment of the program. Mr. Brad Beasley has been on the Rockhampton Grammar School Board of Trustees for many years. In 2010, he was appointed chairman of the board, and in 2014, the new primary administration building was named in his honour to recognise his contribution to the school. The Beasley Centre is also home to the learning support and the Year 1 and 6 classes. Would you please welcome Mr. Beasley to the stage for his 2020 Chairman of the Board address.
The Rockhampton, coming from the savage bushfires that ravaged parts of central Queensland at the end of 2019, we were greeted with the great results achieved for our last year of the OP system, and then news in February that our Ducks from last year, James Vanderlua, had topped the state, receiving the highest award of Outstanding Academic Achiever. This was quickly followed by Queensland going to social distancing restrictions in March and the school moving to a student-free environment in April. Grammar announced it would reopen its doors for our students to return partway through Term 2, and shortly after our students returned, we had the 60-year remembrance of our 9 past students, our 9 grammar boys, who lost their lives in a plane crash off Mackay in 1960 when going home for a long weekend. Add on top of this, it being the first full year of ATAR assessment, and in all, 2020 has resulted in one of the most tumultuous times in our 139-year history. There is a well-known saying that when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and our grammar community ranks amongst the toughest. Our teachers rallied to the cause with incredible speed when our school moved to online learning and courses were converted to this alternate method. Our staff members improvised and adapted to meet the special demands placed on the school in times not seen in our generation. And our students and parents responded magnificently and are to be applauded for the way in which they embraced all measures adopted by the school. The Board of Trustees thanks our entire school community, and in particular Grammar Primary, for their outstanding efforts and for the understanding shown this year. Particular acknowledgement is due to our headmaster, Dr. Moulds, for his leadership and vision throughout the year. An example of the quality of this vision was when the board asked Dr. Moulds to devise a strategy for boarders to return partway through Term 2. To his credit, Dr Moles presented 3 possible solutions, resulting in most boarders taking up residence at Central Queensland University to comply with Queensland health policy and guidelines. Whilst this is one of many examples of lateral thinking shown throughout our entire school, Grammar acknowledges the passion and understanding shown of Dr Moles, the leadership team, and indeed all of our Grammar primary teaching and other staff members. Acknowledgements also made of my fellow trustees for their significant efforts throughout 2020. The board worked as a cohesive unit in a year when there was no playbook to follow. It's a credit to the individuals involved that they are able to express differing points of view, yet work together to achieve the best possible outcomes for our school. As referred to earlier, Grammar had great success academically in 2019, and we expect our 2020 results to be just as successful. Our co-curricular program has continued at pace, albeit in a variety of adapted ways, and operationally we're meeting all benchmarks. Financially, the school will again record a surplus, and this of course is necessary to fund the facilities and opportunities Grammar is able to offer. It's also pleasing to report we recently received confirmation of our Safeguarding Children accreditation, and this follows the announcement earlier in the year that we had joined the National Redress Scheme. In September 2019, the board commenced the first phase of a review of operations and strategy, and this continued into 2020, of course having regard for and being adjusted to meet the circumstances arising out of the pandemic. Grammar is in a sound position as measured by comparison to regulatory standards and from the summaries of a number of external reviews conducted over the last few years. However, above this, above strategy and above operations, the culture of our school shone brightly this year. In the words of legendary management consultant Peter Drucker, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Ladies and gentlemen, specific recognition and thanks are due to our Head of Primary, Mr Jeff Hadwin, who recently announced he was retiring in 2021. Mr Hadwin has led Grammar Primary since 2003, and the results during this time have been remarkable. Jeff has a special empathy for students, and this has now set the standard for all our primary teachers and staff members. Jeff will be greatly missed when he leaves us in 2021, and on behalf of our entire school, our very best wishes for you and for Pam when you move to the next chapter of your lives. After the unexpected and surprising year that 2020 has been, we eagerly look forward to next year and maybe a return to business as usual and hopefully a successful vaccine. 2021 marks the 140th year of consecutive operations for the Rockhampton Grammar School, and hopefully one for celebration. Please enjoy our primary speech day. It is truly one of the significant events on our grammar calendar. Have a safe and healthy holiday period, and we look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beasley. Good morning, everyone. My name is Madeline Green. It is now my pleasure to introduce the vocal choir. Because Preps to Year 2 were initially attending this year's Speech Day celebrations, the junior and senior primary vocal choirs combined to perform together for the first time at this event. Mrs. Williams and Mrs. Whitehead have been rehearsing weekly in preparation for their performance today. and although the year has been fraught with ups and downs, the music has continued. This morning, they will perform for us I Have a Dream by Mary Donnelly. This ensemble choice was inspired by Tossie's Day of Notables speech, where he became Martin Luther King Jr. Mrs. Whitehead was so moved by his portrayal, she wanted to continue the message through our Speech Day celebrations. Please make them welcome. Thank you to the vocal choir. I would now like to introduce the first of our school-based pennants. These are awarded to students who have excelled in their chosen co-curricular activities. The criteria includes skills, attitude and participation. Could I please ask Mr. Hadwin and Mr. Beasley to come forward to announce the recipients and present the students with their awards. Mr. Beasley will be assisted by Mrs. Kays and Mrs. McInerney.
Gives me great pleasure to announce this morning the first of our Pennant Award winners for co-curricular. First one is for AFL. Congratulations to Ethan White. Also for AFL, Kate Penrose. For netball, Libby McDonald. For tennis, Spencer Besh. Also for tennis, Risham Sander. Chess, Neil Damsania. Signing choir, Aditi Menon. Primary rock band, Eric John Dennis. Primary concert band, Lane Hodgetts. Primary jazz band, Vikram Chauhan. Taekwondo, Ashton Rogers. Primary woodwind ensemble, Zaran Lecker. Primary string ensemble, Daisy Williamson. Primary beginner concert band, Nate James. Rugby league, Kurt Lynch. Rugby league, Archie Kagola. Hockey, Jade Harmsworth. Senior vocal choir, primary musical and hockey, Patrick Robinson. And senior vocal choir, signing choir, primary musical, softball and netball, Kalani Williams. Please join with me in congratulating all of our co-curricular pennant recipients. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Hadwin and Mr. Beasley. My name is Libby McDonald, and it is my pleasure to now introduce the Primary String Ensemble. The students range from Years 3 to Years 6. They rehearse every week with their conductor, Miss Lynn Bion. With her guidance and enthusiasm, they have put together a number titled Poem and Circumstances No. 1 by E. Elgar. Please make them welcome. Thank you to the Primary String Ensemble. The next item on our schedule is the class academic pennants. Each of the teachers from Years 3 to 6 will represent their class with pennants. These pennants represent various curriculum areas that we cover in these grades, whether they be class or specialist lessons. Could I invite Mrs. Bark to come forward and announce the 2020 academic pennant winners?
Thanks, Libby. Well, it's my pleasure to present the academic pennants to students from each class from years 3 to 6. But first I'd like to start by acknowledging our Prep to 2 educators who begin the educational journey with our children through creative units of work and loving care and attention. Normally all our staff would be in attendance, but we thank in their absence Elizabeth Donaldson, Nicole Kennedy, Adair Malhose, Nick Berry, Kira Ireland, Amy McNaughton and Judy Scarpelli. And we've been able to fit our Year 2 classes in today, and so acknowledge Sandra Brady, Linda Irwin and Jenny Tapp. Thank you to those people. Our teachers also have the support of wonderful teacher aides in their rooms or cohorts, and that we're blessed to have work at our school. Thank you so much for your tremendous work you do for all our children. Thanks must also go to learning support, extension teachers and specialist teachers. They're also an integral part of our academic, social and physical development of our kids. The curriculum units designed this year were like no other that I've seen in my 34 years of teaching experience. Remote learning, COVID restrictions certainly stretched our creativity and thinking outside the box for our usual excursions and classroom organisation. However, while parents and grandparents might not have been able to help in their usual ways, our relationships were strengthened during the time of lockdown, with teachers and parents working closely with our children to keep their minds active and curriculum covered. Thank you for all of your support this year in making the necessary adjustments to align with guidelines. While we celebrate academic achievement today, we deeply value attributes such as kindness, empathy, courteousness and mindfulness that many students have been recognised for during our weekly assemblies. So could I please ask Mr Hunt to join me on stage to present the pennants to students from 3H. For art, Ava Creek. The music pennant goes to Grace Ramsey. For physical education, Alexander Winslade. For cooking, Madeline McAllister. Maddie's away today. For general effort, Sophia Benton. For general effort also, Dimple Koshin. The technology pennant goes to Lucas Skilton. For English, Mathematics and Science, Xavier Kandaka. For English, Mathematics, Humanities and Social Sciences, Zachary Holtzman. And for English, Mathematics, Humanities and Social Sciences and Science, Robert Muller. Can we please put our hands together for the students of 3H? Thank you. Now can I ask Mr Libke to join me on stage to present the pennants for 3L. And in 3L, for general effort, Leo Carolyn. Also for general effort, Oscar Muller. For cooking, Oliver Moore. Physical Education, Presley Acton. For Mathematics, Ruchika Mamadigi. For English, Sasha Derjashaji. And for English, Mathematics, Humanities and Social Sciences, for Science and also Music, Zara Kammerfeld. And the last one for English, Mathematics, Humanities and Social Sciences, Science, Art and the Technology Prize goes to Elsa Lee. Congratulations to all the students from 3L. Hang on. Sorry, students. There's a photographer at the back, so we're just going to have a photo. Thank you, 3L. Thanks, Mr. Libke. Could we please welcome Mrs. Sonia Whitehead to the stage to help present the pennants for 3W. We'll begin with our Year 3s in 3-4W first up. For music, Janul Menakpura. For general effort, Siana Puslednik. For mathematics and art, Dasal Chandrarathni. For English, Humanities and Social Sciences, English, Mathematics and Science, Elizabeth Wright. And for Technology and Physical Education, Lachlan Davis. And we'll keep going with the Year 4s from 4W. For general effort, Lachlan Ricks. For mathematics, Cici Zhang. For English and Science, Sienna Caton. For mathematics and art, Miko Lee. For English, Humanities and Social Sciences, Ali Olive. And for music, Physical Education and Technology, Lachlan Robertson. Could we please put our hands together for 3-4W? Thanks, kids. Thanks, Mrs. Whitehead. Could we please welcome Mrs. Graff to the stage to present the pennants to 4G. And a general effort pennant goes to Ainsley Lang. Also general effort to Freya Weigel. Technology pennant goes to Gabrielle Stewart. Physical education, Max Cottam. The music pennant goes to Brodie McCamley. For science, Naya Abbott. For mathematics, Pramoth Vasudevan. For English and Humanities and Social Sciences, Edward Roche. For English, Mathematics and Humanities and... for English and Mathematics, sorry everyone, Prahas Pederetti. And for English, Mathematics, Humanities and Social Sciences, Science and Art, Holly Richmond. Congratulations 4G and thank you Mrs Graf. Please welcome Mr Scott to the stage to hand out the pennants to 4S. Thanks, Mr Scott. For English, Jake Hodgetts. For general effort, Callie Carrup. For general effort, Lalanya Gazelle. Technology pennant goes to Arian Dost. For science, Isaac Campbell. Art goes to Chloe Mullen. Humanities and Social Sciences, Anya Batt. For Mathematics and Science, Tosser Adegbija. For English and Physical Education, Jordan Hodgetts. For Mathematics and Music, Megan Wynne. And for English, Mathematics, Humanities and Social Sciences, Giovanna Siddhartha. Please put your hands together to congratulate 4S. Thanks, Mr. Scott. Thanks, kids. I'd like to ask Mrs. Caton to come up on stage and present to her students from 5C. The general effort in 5C goes to Kishan Koshan. Also for general effort, Lily Aird. Technology pennant goes to Hannah Davis. and mathematics pennant goes to Joshua Richmond. For physical education, Lachlan Schneidrow. For English, Ekamjot Singh. For art, Kiva Herpara. The science pennant goes to Benjamin Bainish. And music pennant goes to Daisy Williamson. For English, mathematics, humanities and social sciences, Davina Parker Clipsham. And for English, mathematics, humanities and social sciences, science and Japanese, Vidith Wedasingi. Please join with me in congratulating 5C. Thanks, Mrs. Caton. Please welcome Mr. Cullen to present the pennants for 5K for the year. The general effort pennant goes to Snigdha Kodori. A general effort to Alexander McDonald. For English, Noah Vella. Mathematics, Tyson Carlos. The art pennant goes to Tatenda Mugabe. For physical education, Sid Ward. Technology, Seaton Brock. And for science, Japanese, Emma Hilber. For mathematics, humanities and social sciences, Sunula Muddledge. For English, mathematics and music, Lara Ho. And for English, humanities and social sciences and also science, Ria Chakravarthi. Can we please put our hands together to congratulate the students of 5K. Looking up to the back. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Cullen. Please welcome Mr. Milburn to present the pennants to 5M. For general effort, Grace Francis. For general effort, Ava Carolyn. Science goes to Harley Aitchison. And the art pennant goes to Jade Harmsworth. A mathematics pennant goes to Edward Newell. Humanities and Social Sciences, Nash Mann. For Science and Physical Education, Archie Clifford. For English and Technology, Ashton Rogers. For Mathematics and Music, Magnus Connell. For English and Mathematics, Lara Farmer. And for English, Humanities and Social Sciences and Japanese, Sasha Thomas. Please give 5M a round of applause. Thanks, Mr. Milburn. If I could now invite Mrs. Ruddick to make her way to the stage and present her pennants to 5R. The General Effort pennant, Marley Newell. Also for General Effort, Ruby Rowland. The Physical Education pennant goes to Archie Gagola. For Humanities and Social Sciences and also Science, Miles Day. For English, Mathematics, Humanities and Social Sciences, Hayley McCamley. For English, Mathematics and Science, Kitty Flanady. And the pennants for English, Mathematics, Art, Music, Japanese and Technology, Jake Trippett. Please join with me in congratulating 5R. Thanks, Mrs. Ruddick. Yeah, thank you. Could Mrs. Peckett please make her way to the stage to present pennants to 6P class for the year? Thanks, Leah. For General Effort, Eric John Dennis. Also for General Effort, Fizza Korshall. The Technology pennant goes to Seth Tregay. For mathematics and art, Darcy Malone. Just wait, Seth was before you. For English and mathematics, Shyam Ashkumar. And our next young lady is actually absent today, but it's Rinny Clayton won the English and Humanities and Social Sciences and Science pennant. So we'll give her an acknowledgement in her absence. And for English, mathematics, humanities and social sciences, science, music, physical education and Japanese, Tosibilatu Adigbija. Please congratulate the students from 6P. Thanks, Mrs. Packett. Please welcome Mr. Rooks to the stage to present pennants to 6R for the year. The music pennant goes to Cooper Newell. For general effort, Callan Parker. For general effort, Libby McDonald. For humanities and social sciences, Risham Sander. For mathematics, Siyuan Lee. The art prize in 6R goes to Hank Woodard. For English and mathematics, Bhavik Bardwaj. For science, physical education and technology, George Pentecost. For English, mathematics and Japanese, Zaran Lekka. And for English, humanities and social sciences and science, Neil Damsania. Please join with me in congratulating 6R. Thanks, Mr. Rooks. And last but not least, that last name in the alphabet, Saunders. Mr. Saunders, can you make your way up to present to 6S? The art prize in 6S goes to Kate Penrose. A general effort pennant to Samini Chandarathni. Also general effort, Harry Wright. For mathematics, Bennett Riley. The Physical Education Prize goes to Kurt Lynch. For Mathematics and Technology, Jason Mavisa. For English, Humanities and Social Sciences and Japanese, Lane Hodgetts. For English, Science and Music, Aditi Menon. And for English, Mathematics, Humanities and Social Sciences and Science, Sophie Wright. Please join with me in congratulating 6S. Thanks, Mr. Saunders. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for a wonderful year.
Thank you, Mrs. Spark, and congratulations to all those recipients. Good morning. My name is Darcy Malone. It is now my pleasure to welcome the Primary Concert Band back to the stage. The band recently performed at the filming of the Rockhampton Grammar School Music Festival, and today will be performing Boogie Blues by Bryce Pearson and Barry Gott. This piece will feature solos by Lily, Fizzer, Lucy, Lane, Cooper and Zoran. Please welcome back the band along with their conductor, Miss Angela Richmond. Thank you once again to the Primary Concert Band. It is an honour to now introduce our school headmaster, Dr. Moulds. In 2009, Dr. Moulds became the 9th headmaster of the Rockhampton Grammar School. During his time, he has advocated for excellence in teaching and learning with an unwavering commitment to helping students meet their individual education and learning goals. Dr. Moulds also has the inevitable task of leading the school safely through the challenges of COVID-19 this year. I think the school community would agree that our students have continued to excel through this challenging time. Please would Dr. Moulds come to the stage for his 2020 Primary Speech Night address.
Good morning, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Brad Beasley, members of the Board of Trustees, parents, staff, and most importantly, students of the Rockhampton Grammar School. One of my favourite movies is Apollo 13, based on the 1970 manned mission to the moon that had the same name. The spacecraft became damaged and the scheduled lunar landing had to be aborted. An oxygen tank needed for breathing and power failed 2 days into the mission.
Well, between Jack's back taxes and the Fred Hayes show, I'd say that was a pretty successful broadcast.
That's next Michelle.
Thank you very much, Houston.
We got a couple of housekeeping procedures for you. We'd like you to roll right to 060 and know your rates.
Roger that. Rolling right. 060.
And then if you could give your oxygen tanks a stir.
Roger that. Hey, we've got a problem here.
What did you do?
Nothing. I stirred the tanks.
Whoa. Hey.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
So without oxygen, the 3-man crew would die. NASA's chief operator on the ground, Jim Krantz, scrambled for solutions. They eventually figured it out, but everyone was still on edge until the capsule landed safely in the Pacific Ocean near Samoa. As it neared the critical moment of re-entry, a senior leader remarked, "This could be the worst disaster NASA has ever seen." Krantz replied, "With all due respect, sir, I believe this will be our finest hour." That sense of hope, engagement, and vision in order to achieve success reminds me of our school's response to the coronavirus pandemic. Failure is not an option, Krantz said. So they improvised, adapted, and created their pathway to success. The same thing happened at RGS in 2020. It wasn't Apollo 13, but COVID-19. We rethought what was possible and imagined, navigated and constructed what teaching and learning, engagement, care, support, and collaboration would look like this year. That sense of hope, engagement, and working towards a common solution was crucial for all of us. We pictured where we wanted to go and determined a course to get there together. We were perhaps more conscious of the cooperative and innovative process this year than in years past, but these are characteristics ingrained in grammar, and they are always reflected in the accomplishments of our community. I will not spend time today reviewing the number of outstanding achievements of the school in 2020. However, I encourage everyone to read the yearbook and reflect on just how much has been done in 2020. I do want to acknowledge, though, that in February, the Year 12 Ducks from last year, James Vanderleer, was named the Outstanding Academic Achiever in Queensland. This award acknowledged James as the top academic student in the state of Queensland in 2019. It is the first time this has happened in the school's history, and a reflection of not only the outstanding work of James, but also the support, challenges and care provided to him by his fellow students, teachers and family. Impressively, James attended RGS from prep all the way through to Year 12. Like the safe return of the capsule, learning outcomes of our students do not happen by chance, but through the dedicated, enthusiastic and effective behaviours and actions from students, and in particular, our RGS staff. Thank you to all who work at RGS, especially for the care and support you have provided to everybody in our community in 2020. This has been a challenging and interesting year for the co-curricular program. COVID-19 complications and cancellations have cut into competitions and performances, but we've had some wonderful moments and achievements ranging from the virtual and the real cross-country events to the Wicked Music Festival. All of these accomplishments, diverse and special, boil down to the agility of students and the agility of RGS to respond creatively and effectively to crises, emerging needs and changing expectations. Think about the flexibility and adaptability employed this year when it came to Term 2 in technology, communication and organisation. Think about your own flexibility and how you've managed to manage unpredictability. We all need to count these as major wins for 2020. Your persistence and resilience marks, students, if you were to get ones, would be fantastic. Everyone, whether they realise it or not, has become more creative, more independent, more curious, and from what I've seen, more passionate about learning. Remote learning was not easy for any of us. Your well-being through it all was our paramount concern. It always is. Amidst the pandemic, RGS became the first school in Queensland accredited under the Safeguarding Children program. And in 2021, we will join STYMI, a system that promotes wellness by enabling students to make anonymous notifications regarding their well-being so that we can act on them. Many things, of course, have been disrupted this year, despite, or maybe in spite of COVID-19. Our community service projects have been dynamic, with RGS students funding places for children in schools in Tanzania. Other students helped people settle in Rockhampton. They conducted drought and flood relief efforts. And there was the virtual Red Shield appeal and so much more. COVID did not and has not stopped us. Among other things, the virus has really showed us how small and interconnected the globe actually is. You're a global, connected generation, not restrained by physical boundaries. We witnessed that as you participated in virtual student exchanges this year. When our world is mobile and permeable again, and it will be, we will ramp up our school's global education program once more, something that parents overwhelmingly support according to our recent survey. As I've said, this has been an extraordinary year by any measure. The Board of Trustees and Chairman Mr Brad Beasley have enabled RGS to prosper amidst it all. Their support and encouragement has been of great benefit to me as headmaster, to the school and to us as a community. Please join with me in thanking them. For me, it all comes down to this: the relationships between and among great staff, parents and students. There is no substitute for community and knowing our students, supporting their individual needs, paying attention to their individual progress, nurturing their personal aspirations and celebrating their triumphs. So thank you, all of you, especially the Past Students Association, the RGS Parent Association and the Board of Parent Association, as well as all of the volunteers, groups and committees who support our co-curricular service and academic endeavours. It has been a different year from what we've expected for all of us, but ultimately it has turned into a year of resilience, hope and triumph. And that is a good thing. Congratulations to our outstanding Year 6 student leaders for 2020. Patrick Robertson, Lane Hodgetts, George Pentecost, Electra Cox, Darcy Malone, Libby McDonald, Madeline Green and Tobolotu Agabaji, who have been remarkable in their personal efforts, in their role modelling and in their connection with the student body. At the start of this speech, we travelled into space, but for a moment, I want to take you back to another time. The comprehensive written record of Jewish oral law, the Talmud, dates back to 2nd century Babylonia, or modern-day Iraq. It's written in Aramaic, a language spoken in 1 BC. And if you were to read a page each day, it would take you 7.5 years to complete all 2,711 double-sized pages. Because it was written in Aramaic, it was virtually hidden away and studied for centuries almost exclusively by religious scholars in Orthodox Jewish schools or seminaries. That is, until a rabbi named Aidan Stanislaus translated it and annotated it into Hebrew this century, making it more accessible to everyone. It took him 45 years and 45 volumes, often working on it 16 hours a day, more than half his life, completed in 2010. Rabbi Stanislaus never fully considered the immensity or difficulty of the work that would be required of him when he set out on his personal mission at 27 years of age. It took decades of persistence and resilience. We don't know what is going to be required of us as we set out on our own missions. Apollo 13's commander James Lovell, lunar module pilot Fred Hayes, and command module pilot Jack Swaggart did not know the new demands that would be placed on them or the ground control 56 hours into their mission. Before the rabbi died in August, he said, "It seems it's better sometimes for people, as for humanity, not to know too much about the difficulties ahead, but believe more in the possibilities." So we will continue to weather this storm. While none of us know what is ahead, be persistent, resilient, and mindful of the possibilities and unique promises the world holds for each of you. Know the school wishes you all the best wherever you may rocket off to. And remember, you can always safely splash down here. You are and always will be part of the crew, part of the Grammar family. This is especially true for Mr. Hadwin, who will retire at the end of Term 1, 2021, where we will farewell him appropriately. Thank you.
My name is Tosibleto Adebija, and it is my pleasure to announce the next presentation of awards this morning. Rockhampton is a renowned sporting area in Queensland. It is also still one of the very few places where Friday sport is still on offer. We are very fortunate at our school to have so many staff and parents who give up their valuable time to help us train and perform on the field, court, track, or in the pool. This year, however, many competitions fell victim to the COVID pandemic, limiting the opportunities to compete at advanced sporting levels. I would now like to call upon Dr. Moulds and Mrs. McInerney to present the sporting trophies for 2020, including the Philip Bowman Memorial Shield for primary school equestrian. Philip was a student in our primary school in 2005 and a student in our secondary school in 2006.
Sport for 2020. We started out, we handed out our trial letters, they went out, and then everything stopped. We started Friday Sport, and it came to an abrupt end. It was a year of just unimaginable pauses in the sporting arena. So we do have our sporting trophies for the year. The KW Green Trophy for girls swimming, Lane Hodgetts. The Jones Cup for boys swimming, Kurt Lynch. The Ford Family Trophy for AFL Most Valuable Player, Archie Clifford. The Baxter Trophy, Best Cross Country Performance, Sophie Wright. The T&M Moore Trophy, Softball of the Year, Tasman McInerney. The Sally Gartside Perpetual Trophy, Netballer of the Year, Madeline Green. Becker Family Trophy for Rugby League Player of the Year, Tyson Carlos. The Barrett Cup for Cricketer of the Year, Archie Clifford. Becker Family Trophy for Most Valuable Hockey Player, Lawson James. The Prep Tennis Shield, Neil Damtasania. The Peter Moody Trophy, Touch Football Player of the Year, Madeline Green. The Philip Bowman Memorial Shield for Primary School Equestrian, Tyler Harden. The Saganatab Shield for the overall house champion. So this year we were lucky enough to have our cross-country carnival. We were lucky enough to do our swimming. My passion, the athletics, was gone. So it was points were taken on the two events that we had. On 90 points was Wheatcroft. On 180 points, Kello. $210, Jardine. So Wheatley is the overall house winner for the year. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Moulds and Mrs. McInerney. It is now my pleasure to introduce the primary rock band. Traditionally, the rock band has not performed at the primary speech night, but as this year has been a year of limited performance opportunities, the rock band was invited to perform here today. The rock band rehearses every week under the guidance of Mr. Rooks. They have learned to play a number of covers, as well as some original numbers written by Mr. Rooks and the band. Tonight, they have dedicated their performance to Mr. Hadwin. Please enjoy their rendition of Memories by Maroon 5, along with a PowerPoint presentation on the screen above. Please make them welcome.
We got cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today, toast to the ones that we lost on the way, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories, and the memories bring back you. There's been a time that I remember when I didn't know no pain, when I believed in forever, everything was still the same. Now my heart feels like December when somebody say your name, 'cause I can't reach out to call you, but I know I will one day. Yeah. Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. Everything will be alright. Go raise a glass and say, hey, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, 'cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today, toast to the ones that we lost on the way.
Thank you, Mr. Rooks and the Primary Rock Band. My name is George Pentecost, and it is now time for the Head of Primary's address. Many of us have been blessed to have Mr. Hadwin as our Head of Primary since prep, and have experienced his total commitment to every student's growth in scholarship and character. He constantly visits our classrooms, is ever present playing games on the oval at lunchtime, and strives to support us to reach our full potential, academically, in the sporting arena, or in the arts. Further, he leads us in character through unwavering example. The 6 pillars of character have been defined as trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. Coupled with scholarship, it is these attributes that are most important in life, and it is these attributes we see in Mr. Hadwin each and every day. It is with pride and some sadness that I introduce Mr. Hadwin for his last speech day address due to his pending retirement at the end of Term 1 in 2021. Please welcome Mr. Hadwin to the stage for his 2020 formal address.
Thanks, George. Mr. Rooks will have words later. Dear, oh dear. I knew there was a slide presentation happening, so I decided I'm just going to look over there, and I'll look forward, Tony, when you can send that slide presentation, because I didn't look at any of those photographs. But I did hear a whisper there was something happening there, so I'll get to that later on. First of all, good morning, girls and boys. And they normally say and teachers too, but that didn't happen today, but that's okay. Mr. Beasley, Chair of the Board of Trustees, Headmaster Dr. Moulds, members of the Board of Trustees, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, staff and students. Can I say first of all how wonderful it is for me to actually have some parents here today. It's been something I've been longing for all year, but due to restrictions we haven't been able to do it. And it's great to have so many of you here today. I would also like to acknowledge the Headmaster and the leadership team for your support in enabling this to occur at late notice, and I'm delighted that you are all here as well. I've changed my mind about 5 or 6 times over what I was going to talk about today. But last Friday I was fortunate enough to witness a remarkable speech by a remarkable boy, Oscar Muller. Oscar, for those of you who, most of you know, he suffered from cancer pretty severely. It's been a long battle for 4 years or so. And the great thing about Oscar was that he decided last Friday that he wanted to give a speech. So we invited Mrs. Donaldson, his prep teacher, Mr. Berry, his grade 1 teacher, Mrs. Brady, his grade 2 teacher, Mr. Lipke, myself, and his fellow classmates to a little presentation under there. And his speech was lovely because he spoke about the fact that he survived and he needed all the support from his mates. And he really appreciated that. So that gave me clarity to harden up, stand up here today and go, thank you, Oscar, because you did a wonderful job down there the other day and I was just so proud of you. So I thought I would change my speech again after hearing that, and I thought I would do it in 2 parts today. The first part is purely just a brief overview of the year, and the second part, I'm going to let you on a little bit of a secret that I've had for quite a long time. So let's talk a little bit about the year that was. We've heard a lot of it today, but I'll make it brief. We commenced the school year with 452 students enrolled in the primary school, and at the end, there's 465. Mrs. Holloway, is telling me now that we've got quite a few interviews coming up over the holidays. So my guess is the Victorians are all suddenly deciding that they don't want to live down there anymore, and they're all making their way up to Queensland. Miss Kira Ireland, Miss Crystal Caton and Mr. Riley Hunt joined our teaching staff at the commencement of the year, and during the year we were able to welcome back Mrs. Dorothy Skilling as part of our physical education team. All of these students contributed greatly to the education of the students that they worked with. COVID-19, as we already know, impacted greatly on our school in Term 2 with remote learning for many students being undertaken. The professionalism and adaptability of our staff ensured that our students were given every opportunity to continue with a quality education, and I sincerely thank everyone for that. The disruptions, as we know, greatly impacted upon our wonderful partnerships that we had with parents and staff, as social distancing did not allow those relationships to flourish as I would have liked. Added to this, the cultural and sporting opportunities for the students was reduced greatly in 2020, We all do wish for a normal 2021. I would like to acknowledge the tremendous work of our teacher aides who work tirelessly to ensure the care and educational opportunities for our students are at the forefront of all of our tasks. It's a privilege to work with these people, and I know the students totally respect all that they do. Mrs. Kays has always been there to assist me in the daily dealings with the administration of our school, and for this I am truly thankful, Leanne. With the support this year from Mrs. Liz Scott, they've ensured the smooth operation of our school, a job that is immense. Mrs. Janet Spark, the Assistant Head of Primary, has been working with me now for 31 years. Considering she's only 35, that's hard to believe. I changed that. My personal highlights for the year are reading Fantastic Mr. Fox to the preps, swimming with the year ones, teaching the year 2 mathematics, going to Readamata twice with the year 3s, going on the year 4 camp, doing bush ballads with the grade 5s, and the year 6 the Western Queensland trip. I love playing cricket, tennis, table tennis, soccer, t-ball and touch at lunchtime with the students. And what a great day Saturday morning was when my under-8 girls won the Division 1 grand final. That was really exciting. I wish to acknowledge our 8 student leaders for their efforts. I won't mention you all, I was going to, but that's already been done. But I would like to give you a round of applause for the wonderful work that you've done today. Well done. Their assistance in being the spokespersons for the student body and organisation of many events is very much appreciated, you guys. Thank you. I hope all the students enjoyed their year and in the coming years reflect on their days at the Rockhampton Grammar School with many fond memories. It's always been a pleasure for me to work with such a delightful and appreciative group of students. Pam and I wish you all a safe and happy Christmas, and I do look forward to working with the students again in Term 1 next year. Now for my little secret that I've got for you. 4 years ago, well, I might just turn this on Tony and see if it'll go. 4 years ago, I received a lovely book that came from some students. The students at the school at the time were Molly Corrigan, Grace Hanson, Lily Root-Naran Singh, Lauren Miller and Abby Scottney. Now this particular book they gave me, they put in there and they said, they gave me this book to say, I want you to know what you do around the school here. And it's a fantastic book. And it's not that that's the secret, it's more the fact that in this book is what I try to aspire to do. And that's probably been leading me through. So for those of you who know, and a lot of the kids do, I love getting into classrooms and reading stories. So I thought today I'm going to read you this story that I received 4 years ago. And Tony's probably about to click that up there for me. I've only got the pictures in, boys and girls, unfortunately, but it is called The Principal on the Corner. I've got my roving mic here going now so I can walk around a bit because I hate standing behind a microphone when I'm reading a story, as the kids know. Once there was a little school next to a little river at the end of a little road. No one could see the school and no one cared about it. The buildings were awfully old. The teachers were terribly tired, sounds familiar, and the kids were restless and rowdy and rip-snortingly rude. Mums and dads looked at each other and said, "Our Jack, nor Gemma, nor Harry, nor Charlie, nor Eva is never, ever going there." This little school was sad. No one cared. No new kids came. Perhaps it may have to close down. But just then a new principal appeared. He looked the little school up and down and inside and outside. He looked at the awfully old buildings and the terrible tired teachers and the restless and rowdy and rip-snorting rude kids. And he said firmly to all of them, "I believe in this school." Every morning, the principal was first to arrive at the little school. He stood at the end of the little road on the school corner that no one could see. He stood in front of the little school and he smiled and waved. "Hi," he said to the kids as they came down with their mums and dads. "All set for a big day? Come on, let's go." Every school afternoon, the school principal stood at the end of the little road on the school corner that no one could see. He stood in front of the little school and smiled and waved. "You'll need a big dinner tonight and a huge sleep," as he said as the kids headed home with their mums and dads, "because we have an enormous things planned for tomorrow." The principal stood at the end of the little road on the school corner that no one could see. Every school morning, I'll get there. Every school morning and every school afternoon, in the sun, in the rain, in the frost, and sometimes in snow. Well, we don't have that. Every kid and mum and dad passed the principal every school morning and every school afternoon. They knew they could depend on him to be there and to be a best friend for that little school. The principal treated everyone with care and respect. He looked every kid and mum and dad in the eye. He smiled because he was happy. He listened because he was interested. He bent down to talk to the little kids. He gave everyone a fair go. Today is a brand new day. Pretty soon, he knew all the kids by name, and the name of their class teacher, and the names of their mums and dads, and the names of their aunts and uncles, and even some grandparents. Pretty soon after that, word started to get out. The mums and dads and kids of the little school started telling everyone they knew. Our principal is on the school corner every morning and every afternoon. We can talk to him every school day, and he knows every one of us by name. And pretty soon, things started to change and happen. The teachers and the children of the little school started looking up and seeing and talking. They started having ideas. They started trying things they felt too small to try before. They started walking taller and trying harder. They started being seen and they started being proud of their little school. The grade 6s helped the grade 2s with maths. The year 5s helped the grade 3s with maths, sorry. The year 5s helped the grade 2s with reading, and the grade 4s helped the grade 1s with painting. Grade 3s helped the preps with singing. Grade 2s learned big words, grade 1s made everything colourful, and the preps learned a new song. The kids were so good that the teachers wanted to work at this little school, but not one single teacher ever wanted to leave. Mum and Dad found a way to join in too. They helped with the canteen and reading and sport teams. They had working bees, and they said to everyone they knew, "Come and see, come and see. Come to our school fair, come to the quiz night, come and see our little school." So other mums and dads started taking a look. Oh, our Jaden, Josh, Hugo, Holly, Lala would just love to come to this school, they said. Soon, the little school did not have enough classrooms for everyone who wanted to come. Once there was a little school next to a little river at the end of the little road. It was very hard to care about when the buildings were awfully old, but the teachers were terribly tired, and the kids were restless and rowdy and rip-snortingly rude. Everything changed. People started to love the little school because the principal believed in it and stood at the front of the little road so that everyone on the corner could see him. Great little book. In conclusion, I'd just like to point out that Rachel McDonald gave me a call yesterday and said, "Jeff, can you come up with something that may capture your address or maybe your career?" Oh, geez, okay, I'll have a go. And then it suddenly dawned on me, I was talking to Leanne in the front office there, and I came up with a personal quote, and it's actually on the back of your program there. It says, "If children love coming to school, then 90% of my job is done."
Thank you, Mr. Hadwin. I would now like to introduce the Years 4 to 6 signing choir. The primary signing choir is now in its 20th year and has successfully performed at many local events over the years. They rehearse every week under the guidance of their conductor, Mr. Michael Robertson. Today, the choir would like to dedicate this very special performance to a very special person in their lives, Mr. Hadwin. Knowing that he is a Celine Dion fan, the choir will present Because You Loved Me, which appropriately sums up the amazing leadership and guidance he has provided for thousands of children during his long, distinguished career, and for the love of teaching children that Mr. Hadwin has. We thank you, Mr. Hadwin, for being a guiding light, not only for the students you have taught, but also for the many staff you have led over the years. Please welcome the primary signing choir with a tribute to Mr. Hadwin.
For all those times you stood by me, for all the truth that you made me see, for all the joy you brought to my life, for all the wrong that you made right, for every dream you made come true, for all the love I found in you, I'll be forever thankful, baby. You're the one who held me up, never let me fall. You're the one who saw me through it all. You were my strength when I was weak. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me, lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believe I'm everything I am because you loved me. Ooh, you gave me wings and made me fly. You touched my hand, I could touch the sky. I lost my faith, you gave it back to me. You said no star was out of reach. You stood by me and I stood tall. I had your love, I had it all. I'm grateful for each day you gave me. Maybe I don't know that much, but I know this much is true. I was blessed because I was loved by you. You were my strength when I was weak. You were my strength. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me, lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believed I'm everything I am because you loved me. Oh, you were always there for me, the tender wind
to Mr. Robertson and the Primary Signing Choir. Good morning. My name is Electra Cox. We have now reached that time of the ceremony for the presentation of the major academic and citizenship awards. Could I please call upon Dr. Moulds to present these awards and Mr. Hadwin to announce the recipients?
Well, now that I'm a little more composed, I had to steal Electra's book off her so we could delay it a bit longer. Sorry about that, Electra. We come to that point of the evening morning rather, that we announce our major academic and citizenship awards. The first award is the Westpac Shield for significant contribution to the arts. The student who is in most ensembles, musicals, vocal choirs, signing choirs, string ensembles, concert band, and it normally goes to a Year 6 person, and in this case it does. Kalani Williams, congratulations. As these are major awards, we'll wait until they receive their award before we move on to the next one. The Edwards Award Trophy for Learning Acceleration, Alexander McDonald. The Shane Pretty Memorial Trophy for Year 5 Citizenship for Leadership, Initiative, Respected by Peers, Courteous, Decision Maker, Honest, Shows Commitment and Consistency, Kitty Flanady. The RGS Red and Black Association for being most cooperative, polite and helpful, Lane Hodgetts. The Merrick Shield family for most improved Year 6, Harley Etherton. The 1990 Seniors Trophy for Citizenship for Leadership, Initiative, Respected by Peers, Courteous, Decision Maker, Honest, Shows Commitment and Consistency, Tosi Adebaja. The 1990 Staff Trophy for Effort and Excellence and third place overall, and we could not split these two, so there's two, Shyam Ashikuma and Zaran Lekka. the Kate Wilson Cup for Academic Excellence, and second overall, Tosi Adebaja.
Could you please join me in thanking Dr. Moulds? I would now like to call upon Mr. Beasley to present the Board of Trustees Trophy and the Rockhampton Grammar School Past Students Association Prize for the 2020 Ducks of Primary. Mr. Hadwin will announce this year's recipient.
The Board of Trustees Trophy and the RGS Past Students Association Trophy and Ducks of Primary for 2020, Neil Dansamia. Thank you, everyone. Just want to leave yours there.
Please thank Mr. Beasley and Mr. Hadwin, and congratulations to everyone on their wonderful accomplishments throughout 2020. My name is Lane Hodgetts. Could I now ask all the students and staff to stand quietly for the singing of the school song? Please join me in thanking Mr. Beasley, Dr. Moulds, Mr. Hadwin, Mrs. Spark, and my fellow Year 6 leaders as they depart. This concludes our 2020 Speech Day. Once again, I'd like to congratulate all my fellow students on their achievements this year. Thank you also to Mr. Hadwin and the staff of the primary school for always being there for us. I would also like to thank our parents and families for their never-ending love and support. On a personal note, I would like to thank my fellow students for an outstanding year. On behalf of the Rockhampton Grammar School, I would like to thank Mr. Kennedy for looking after all the sound requirements for this morning, as well as videoing all performances so they could be projected onto the large screen. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. At the beginning of the ceremony, you would have enjoyed a PowerPoint depicting memories of the 2020 school year. Please join me in thanking Mrs. Scott for the creation of this PowerPoint. Finally, thank you to Mrs. Kays, Mr. Hadwin, and Mrs. Whitehead for coordinating this year's speech day. Merry Christmas and a happy and safe New Year to everybody.